It has now been 3 weeks since the FBI raided the home of Mayor Sheng Thao of Oakland and 3 other locations across the city as a part of a potential political corruption probe. We still don't know specifically why they raided the homes.
It is a big issue and one of several facing the mayor. Also making headlines is the recently passed budget that includes the possibility of cuts to the police and fire departments.
And here to talk about all of this is Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao. Mayor Thao, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We want to start with the new reports that say the FBI investigation is focused on your partner, Andre Jones, and the DeWong family that we've been reporting on for weeks now. Are you aware of any specific actions or decisions that may have raised concerns about their involvement in your administration?
You know, my relationship with Andre Jones is personal, and I'm not his spokesperson. I am here today to discuss the work that I'm doing as mayor, and any questions regarding the case, that's connected to the investigation. I can't comment on that. And of course, we all have a lot of questions. So if you do want to know more about the investigation, I have to implore you to ask the FBI and the U.S. attorneys yourself.
We all do have a lot of questions about the ongoing case, Mayor. And, you know, obviously I can speak as an Oakland resident as well. What is there to be said about this ongoing investigation? You have to be able to tell us something about this. This is a top concern for Oakland residents. Was there any wrongdoing in your mind?
Well, what I can tell you from my part is that I can't comment on matters ongoing to the investigation. What I can share is that I am not the subject of this investigation. I have done nothing wrong, and I expect that there will be an opportunity to say more, but now isn't the time, and that I am fully cooperating with the investigation and look forward to the opportunity to vindicate myself. But my administration has been and will continue to be singularly focused on the city of Oakland and addressing the needs of our communities, building off of the great success we've already had in a short 18 months that we've been in office. With that being said, I am concerned about the timing of the recall, as I've stated in my media press conference. And I think it has created a suggestion of wrongdoing in the face of an election where I have done nothing wrong.
Well, let's talk about that. I know you want to focus on the work, but the question I think on a lot of residents' minds is, can you do the work given the scope of this investigation, like the city having to turn over paperwork? There's a hearing today, right, or the deadline today. There's a recall effort. The folks are having a press conference as we speak to talk about how, in fact, they say the election's going to be held on November 5th for the recall, but you're saying the date has not been set. With all this happening, how do you reassure people that you are able to effectively do your job as mayor?
Absolutely, you know, and I can tell you that this is exactly what we're focused on. Again, we are cooperating. We do multiple things every single day as we are doing this job as mayor of Oakland and as the executive branch of the city of Oakland. And so what I can say is that there is no doubt in my mind that my team, my whole team, and it's just not me and myself, right? My whole team and I, that we can do this work 100% moving forward. And we're getting our wins. We just passed an amazing budget where it actually doesn't cut public safety so deeply that it's going to harm us. And so in regards to the recall, let's be clear. This recall campaign was set in motion before I was even sworn into office. And I think it's incredible disservice to our democratic process, to the voters and to Oaklanders and our city. And this is a distraction and a significant waste of taxpayer money that we simply can't afford in this budget climate. I mean, this recall effort has the potential to cost Oakland taxpayers upwards of $10 million. With each OPD, as an example, each OPD officer budgeted for $325,000, that's roughly 31 officers that we could be utilizing that funding for. Also, the Public Ethics Commission has sued the recall organizers because they are refusing to follow a subpoena that orders them to be transparent about their donors. Oaklanders deserve to know the truth about who is funding this recall. And again, I remain focused on doing the job of Oakland mayor. This is what the Oakland voters have elected me to do. And we're doing great work from Ramondi Park in West Oakland, getting that developed immediately, taking down the largest encampment in Northern California at Wood Street, you know, selling our half of the Coliseum to the African American Sports and Entertainment Group so it can finally be developed. Politicians have come and gone, and nothing has been developed there, because at the end of the day, we need economic vitality. And that means that we must develop these areas so that we can continue to get new resources, new monies, so we can pay for the public services that we so need, like our police officers, firefighters, DVP, and cleaning up our streets.
Can you put a percentage on it, how confident you are about the sale going through? Because the newly approved budget depends heavily on the $63 million expected from that. And if the sale doesn't go through by September 1st, it's not a lot of time, then the city faces significant cuts, including to police. What plans do you have to ensure public safety will not be compromised at a time when the city needs it so much?
Well, I just want to applaud to that point. That's exactly why I proposed my budget. My budget is the public safety budget. I want to applaud the 5 council members who voted for that budget, because the other 3 council members wanted to actually reduce the number of officers. Right now, we have 710 officers. They wanted to reduce that number to 610. Now, that's irresponsible. And that is not safe for our city. And so the 5 council members who voted on the budget, my proposed budget, to move forward with the public safety budget, I want to applaud them for that. And let's be very clear. This budget will enable us to maintain the steady and significant progress we've already made in reducing crimes, cleaning our streets, and continuing to build off of that work that has been an issue for the city of Oakland for decades, right? For decades. And so coming in again in the short 18 months that we've been here, we have been able to really bring down not only the crime number across the whole board, but also cleaning up our streets. Yes, there's still so much more to do, but we're not letting go of the gas pedal right now.
Okay,
not at all.
but how
We're going to
confident-
continue to do that work.
But because it is all dependent on the sale going through, how confident are you? Like 50%?
I am
30%?
very, I am very optimistic that it is going to go through, and I can tell you that you'll be hearing about an update pretty soon.
And what is pretty soon, Mayor? Because again, I think there's a lot of concern about what could potentially happen if the Coliseum sale doesn't go through, and then you would have to make cuts to public safety.
Absolutely. Just like any other city across the state of California and the state of California itself, because of the pandemic, we're still suffering, with our deficit. Many cities across the board in California and across the nation are going through and seeing these deficits. This is the worst deficit that the city of Oakland has ever seen. And so the work that I have been able to do to keep our workforce in line has been to ensure that we continue to deliver basic services. With that being said, yes, I am optimistic about the Coliseum deal going through. AASCG is committed. They're locally based. They are committed to making sure that our public safety is not tampered with. And so with that being said, of course, it's negotiations. And so I can't speak more about the negotiations publicly, but you will be getting, and the rest of the community will be getting, an update soon around how this is all working out. I plan to be as transparent as possible with, of course, the confines of negotiations as we move forward.
Mayor, I want to get your take on another topic that came to our attention just a couple of days ago. Reports claiming that Oakland has potentially been misreporting crime data for years, especially those year-to-year numbers. And there have been some really high-profile crimes in recent days. 70 people swarming a gas station, the 76 on Hagenberger. How do you reassure residents that crime is, in fact, going down? It's not getting worse, as you recently said in a release to the media, that there has been this 33% drop in crime.
Yes, there has been. And you can look at, our crime data, just like any other city. Of course, you have to double check what's being reported online. Of course, sometimes things get miscategorized because they were reported wrong or what have you. So that changes things, right? Slightly. However, you could take, it's a 3-month lag, and you can take the other crime data that we know that are more clear, and you could compare that to the year before, and you can still see that reduction. There has been no change in how the Oakland Police Department has reported our weekly crime data since they began sharing it with the community in 2011. So this is OPD's process in regards to being transparent. Other cities, they actually are not this transparent. They don't actually release any of those numbers. Of course, there's always a disclaimer, thank you, on the very bottom that states this, that there could be delay. But let's be clear, there isn't a lag on all crimes that have been reported out.
Okay, we appreciate that, Mayor. We have to go, but final question to you. How confident are you that you can survive a recall come November?
We're going to keep focusing on what we're doing, and that is being results driven and being effective and efficient with the taxpayers' dollars. And so I believe that that's going to be where we're going to be. That's our strength, and that's what the community is going to see. And then that they're going to want us to continue to lead this city, because again, a recall is going to be upwards of $10 million.
Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao, thank you for your time today. We'll take a short break and be right back.